Red alerts on the Red Mile. We're joined by Eric Francis for some Flames chatter, and this is Instant Analysis presented by Tylenol Rapid Release Gel Caps. Rapid release for rapid relief. Eric, 7 straight losses, not ideal. Now, we could nitpick here and there about a lot of things that have gone wrong for the Flames over this current 7-game stretch, but if you had to pick one X factor for this losing streak, one overarching theme, what would you look at?
Boy, that's a tough one because there are a lot of factors contributing to this. But at the end of the day, they're just not scoring enough goals. Yeah, the goaltending has been subpar, but their game the other night and Thursday in Boston, it was right there for them to take that one. All they needed was one goal, and they missed the empty net twice. Tyler Toffoli, Andro Mangiapane, these guys are just not bearing their chances. They're not getting as many as they used to have in the past when they were a much more talented scoring team. Right now, they're 25th in scoring in the National Hockey League. That's not good enough. That's not going to cut it for a team. Even though they're supposed to win games that are low scoring, when the goaltending's not good enough, you've got to score more goals.
Low scoring, that is a harbinger of the Darryl Sutter game for sure. And speaking of Darryl Sutter, he's been quite complimentary of his squad, particularly after Thursday night's loss to Boston. Maybe a little unusual, at least in my mind. He even said we worked our butts off. Is Sutter justified in those comments? What would you say?
Absolutely. I mean, the Calgary Flames, this is the craziest thing about where they're at right now. Over the last 3-4 games, they've been playing really good hockey, save for a few little gaps here and there that cost them the game. They've been really happy with their road effort. I threw a stat out there the other night. In their 3 road games that they lost all 3, they allowed only 4 shots on goal in the first 10 minutes of the first period. So they started off really well, outshooting their opponents 24-4 in those 3 games and got the lead in all 3 games and surrendered the lead in all 3 games. So they are playing well, just making those little mistakes that are the difference right now.
So we're expecting the Flames will turn this around. The sun is going to come out again in Calgary, despite the poor weather that the West Coast has been seeing, at least. When the sun does come out and the Flames start playing better, the Flames fans are still going to look back on this skid and think, oh, there's some bad habits. Are there any of these bad habits that you're seeing creep up that you may think will reappear later on in the season?
Well, the giveaways are something that this coach has really harped on forever. I mean, details are what this system's all about for Darryl Sutter. So you've got to believe they're going to clean that up. I think the most troubling thing right now for this team is the fact that, they knew it was going to take time to build chemistry and able to score goals. And even on their back end, chemistry is so important. They have not found it. They have not found it on the forward lines. They have not found it on the blue line. So time is of the essence. For them to snap out of this, they're going to have to start figuring out what the best lines are so they can start scoring goals. So moving forward, I think it's a concern for people to see that they still have not figured out who should be playing with who to be most effective.
That's Eric Francis, who reports on the Flames for Sportsnet. Eric, really appreciate the time. Thanks, man.